All right, everyone, hello. Welcome back to 20th Anniversary Monster Hunter Countdown. Up next, number 148, Zorah Magdaros. First appearance in Monster Hunter World. Kind of shows up in Iceborne again, you'll see. Good-looking armor set. Base game, it was kind of an interesting sleep bombing set, if you wanted to use it like that. Master rank now, it's better for gunning. Gives artillery secret. Overall, I'd say probably his best weapon is the heavy bowgun. I'm not going to show that one off. I'm going to be using the gun lance, but I think his bowgun, heavy bowgun especially, stays good pretty much forever. Decent raw, good status shots. Remember seeing it used a lot on Kolv. Usually you'd bring one person into the fight that could do some status on her, para sleep, stuff like that. Sticky for KOs. All those things were great on her to help lock her down in the final segment before she ran away. That's when you would want to use it all, so... Kind of a cool set. I mean, no reason you couldn't use it on other things as well. So, that's nice. Looks good. I'll try and show off a couple pieces of the gear here. Gun lance is just okay. Kind of bad, actually. That's fine. You're not going after that one anyways. Heavy artillery got buffed heading into Iceborne. It used to only be 20% extra damage, by the way. It is now 100% extra damage at full value. So... we're going to be fighting the AT Zorah. It's going to be a lot stronger there. I'm not even sure why I'm showing off his hit zones. I don't discreetly show off attacking his chest, but especially if you bring like the glider mantle, stuff like that, you can kind of like fly into his chest and deal some damage there. And it does look like a really good hit zone. I remember seeing videos of like 4 people flying onto his chest with switch axe and all clumping on each other. Kind of a neat use. Kind of a neat use of switch axe. So yeah, this is the AT Zorah. There's some small changes. By and large, he is still just a siege fight. Fun fact, the first Zorah you fight, Colossal Task, you can basically ignore everything that you're supposed to do on his back. And actually, even for his high rank quest, the normal one, you can pretty much ignore everything on his back there as well. Big differentiator in the AT Zorah in high rank is you do have to eventually repel the Nergigante, who we'll show off in a bit. No matter what, you can always like poke at these things a little bit, these little magma cores. But actually in low rank and high rank, for the most part, you're just going to slow the quest down. Really, you just want to get him over to the siege weaponry and start hitting him with that. At best, for the most part, they just end up breaking, he flinches, and then what? You got yourself a couple 100 points of damage. Doesn't feel worth it. A lot of mining spots on him. There was also like some stalactites and stuff like that. Or stalagmites. You could shoot onto him. And that's helpful. You know, the extra damage is always okay. The big one you want to use to kind of interrupt his big volcanic burst. But I'm not sure how important that is. I don't imagine there's too many of you that's going to take this video and decide that you're going to farm Zorah forever. It's shocking he got this many votes. I almost feel as if the only people that would have voted for him was like the team at Capcom that worked on him. I don't think I've ever met anyone out there that is like, they enjoy Zorah. In fact, out of everyone, I would potentially take one of the titles of having fought Zorah among the most in the world. I still kind of like him. Only because there's always like a little bit something to do, but most people are like, this is boring. I don't want to load cannons and shoot them at him. And I get it. I don't have any footage of it. By the way, I just want to show off that, like, some people may not even know there's a boat down here. There is a boat down here. It has the Dragonator. It has a good layup of cannons with these guys that are kind of helping you reload them and stuff like that. In any case, I was going to mention the game Wild Hearts. It was a EA published game. Koei Tecmo, I think, is the one that made it. And it's a hunting-like game. And they have their own inclusion of a monster that like feels like it was inspired by Zorah Magdaros, and like it is just so much worse than Zorah. I don't think I'll ever have a series on him, but maybe someday. Just to show off how bad it is. So AT Zorah, you got to be really careful. If he actually attacks the bridge here, I think like 3 times, you fail the quest. So with AT Zorah, you also need to not just damage him with the cannons, you need to actively be hitting him with the binder. So here I am, I attack the head a little bit. That's kind of neat. Like I said, you can eventually find your way and start hitting his chest and dealing damage that way. I'm not I'm not doing that, but that is something that you can do. Here he is attacking the bridge. The barrier, you see, that's a lot of damage, huh? So, looks cool. I like it. Destroys some of the things, so. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for him. I mean, you know, not too much. And again, with the changes to heavy artillery, assuming that you're running, you know, upgraded heavy artillery, the quest should be easier than ever. You know, the quest was balanced for when heavy artillery was only 20%, not plus 100%. So the original heavy artillery boost was almost a rounding error. Now you're dealing like double damage. We're not going to go over the items. Descriptions are terrible as usual, but we will show off the guiding lands. He ends up running away and forming into the guiding lands, presumably. Evidenced here, you can see his head in the Rotten Vale version of it, area, so. That's it. That's it for Zorah Magdaros. A little infamous. One of the worst siege monsters. Not as bad as Lao, who is coming up. Who is good, though, and coming up, though, is White Monopolist from Monster 4 Ultimate. Thank you all so much for watching this episode, though. If you made it this far, very special congratulations. And I love you. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.